Hi, good morning, guys. Welcome to Bitcoin Bounce. This is the first of our new format shows where we're going to trade five coins. These are the five that we selected: BTC, ETH, ADA, MATIC, and XRP. And we thought to make it more interactive this year, and we're going to trade these charts with you. So I've opened charts on Bybit, which we trade with, where you would be able to either trade leverage if you wanted to, and also obviously buy. You can do buys and sells, or shorts and longs on the same exchange. So we could trade both ways. So we would be looking for longs and for shorts. So whatever trades we find, we're going to give to you guys, and you can take it or not. We'll trade as safe as possible. Trade with stop losses. Where possible, we'll bring in one or two other little strategies just on the side, but on these big five coins, we'll be trading with stop losses and money management, and try to look after our funds and make money this year. So also what we're going to do is I'll do the morning show, and then in the afternoons Joseph will do a recap and just give any other trades that he might see, just see what happened throughout the day and so on. And then on Fridays we will just have a recap show where we'll just look through the week's trades and the week ahead and so on. So let's get into it. Have a look at Bitcoin first. I'm not. These charts aren't all marked up yet, so I want to do each of these individually. I'll do a little video quickly of how we mark it up and where exactly we're going to take our trades. But for today, we're just going to look through them quickly. So this is Bitcoin on the daily. So you can see here that we've made a double top, which is one thing that we just keep an eye on, is that could normally double tops would normally pull back down to the bottom. Also, the other thing is that we've got the 200 EMA, which we've now hit, and it looks like there's a bit of a rejection there, or trading sideways. So we're not through that 200 EMA yet. And the other thing that concerns me is that this run that we've had has been amazing, but for a run to continue, we have to actually just pull back first. So it would be great if we could pull back, but I'll show you how that started roughly. So one would expect it to come, at least to come and touch this 382 on the fib, but even better would be to pull back to 0.5 or to 618. So that's around about 18,500. That would be awesome if that happened. But we all know Bitcoin, it could just get up and just run, and not necessarily pull back. We've seen that before. But technically, it would be best if we just take a bit of a breather, and pull back before we take the next trade up. The one thing on the daily that you could look for is if we do actually break this 200 EMA with a convincing candle, something like that big fat green candle there, and we settle above it, then the target would obviously eventually we would go for the 800 EMA, but the first targets would just be the previous high. So that would be this one here, around about 22,500, and then around about there's 24,500. So those would be the first targets, and the ultimate goal would then be to come up to test the 800 EMA. That's if we're going along. But for now, my bias would be that we're going to pull back a bit. Let's just go down to the 1 hour and see what that looks like. So 1 hour has been consolidating over the weekend. We can just draw a little triangle there. We can just see roughly where the price, a little square just around the price action there. So that's kind of what we were looking at, just over and above this little level there. So we would want to see a breakout from this. Trading in that's not going to make much sense. There's not any real profit in there. So on the hourly, I would wait for a bit of a break up, and as I said previously, it would be really nice if we could break down. This is the 200 EMA on the 1 hour, which is a little bit higher. It's around about 19,000 odd. So it would be really great if we could pull back, even maybe down to where there was previous resistance, around about in that area. So if we can just see a good pullback, and then on the 15-minute, I would look for an entry. So at the moment, I wouldn't really take anything. On the 1 hour, if we broke convincingly below the 50 EMA, which we're not doing so at the moment, you can see we're being rejected from the 50. Let's just have a look at the 15 minutes. So the 15 has come back to retest its 200 EMA. So again, if we break under that, I would take a short trade and then run that to run about, I think, 19,000, say 19,500. Let's just see what. So if you had to take a trade there to run about 19.5, it's like a 5% trade. I think that would be quite a nice trade. So if we do break under the 200, so my bias definitely would be to the lows. Also, yeah, on the 15, what you can see to give you just an indication is if you take, we made a high there and then we made a lower high, so also not get into a long before at least we break back above that line here, and that would be pretty much the same as this area that I've mapped out. Yeah, anyway, so I think we're looking for a short at the moment, unless we break above that little trend line there. So if we break above that and break out of that range, we could maybe look for a trade to the upside. Again, I would be careful when we get to see that wick there. So theoretically, to be really safe, one would actually only get in there and then trade it up to the upside. Let me show you. So that would be the safest trade to hold this area, this 21,500 previous high, to hold it with one or two, maybe break out, come and retest, and then take the long from there. Or unless there's like a very convincing big fat green candle that just shoots right through that area, one could maybe get in, but it would normally be best to just take a breakout, then retest, and then take it back up. So quite a few things here against actually a long trade. So I would hope that something like this would happen and we can do a quick little short trade, running with a tight stop loss. If you had to get in there, then just your stop loss above this little area where it's, so above that high, which is around about 21,050, say. So just put a stop loss up there and see if you can trade it to the downside. So the ultimate target would be the 800 down there. I think that's it for Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Ethereum on the daily. So Ethereum is broken out above the 200, so it would be cool if we can come and retest. You see, we've also had a very long run on Ethereum, so also, yeah, it would be really nice if we have a bit of a pullback even under the 200, or just a solid retest, with a good wick down to like this 1400 area, just some kind of a pullback before we go back up, or otherwise just a convincing candle to show that we've maybe wicked down and completely been rejected from this area. So like a strong hammer candle or something like that, just to convince us to go to the upside. But again, we would have to be careful around about the highs there and there. So theoretically, yeah, also the safe trade would be, I need to get in around about that kind of area. Let me just get that area there. So we would want to just break above those candle highs, and you can see there's another one up there that we would actually want to break above. So if you do this trade, it would be good to either get out here or put your stop loss up there if we go through, because that could definitely be retested. So break out, come back, retest, maybe go below. So seriously look at taking a profit roundabout there, and then if that holds, then the next area, same as Bitcoin, would also then be those next weeks there. So at the moment also I would preferably be looking for shorts here. Let's have a look at their 1 hour. So you can see currently also a rejection of this area, and the same kind of pattern. We would have to break above that to go bullish, and also above that wick to actually take a solid trade unless you wanted to be risky, and get in on that trade when we break out here. But the safest trade would be to only get in above that area, and then also we would be looking for a trade breaking down this 50 EMA and then targeting this 200. So that would be kind of the trade that I would expect and hope to take, rather than a trade to the upside. That's it for Ethereum. Let's have a look at ADA. So all the coins have just had this explosive run, and they would just have to pull back somewhere. I wouldn't feel safe unless they do. So ADA kind of has broken out of this trend line. So even one would want to actually just come and retest it before we go back up, and the best would be to actually, if we come and retest the 20 and the 50, and from there get a nice bullish candle and trade then to the upside, but also actually not entering until unless we above that little line there, and target would also then again be the 200 EMA, when we could expect a bit of volatility there and a pullback. Let's have a look at the hour. So hours also got the same little pattern where we would have to break out to take a long, so we would take longs from there, and hopefully as well the safest trade would actually be to take that, look for that 5% there if we do break down from this area. So we would, this is a nice convincing candle through, so we'll wait for the next one. You can even go down to the 15, and that also looks good. Like we've kind of confirmed that we're below the 200 on the 15, so it's really looking to me to a good trade to trade to the downside. What you can also do is just look at the stochastic and the RSI. So RSI is below 50, and the stochastic is so it could run here below this area, so it's in the overbought area where normally one could expect it to turn, but it could hang there for quite some time. You can see, like previous times, it's been there for quite a few hours, just hanging around at the bottom. So it's not necessarily we could expect an up move from here, but so wait for the signal there and not get into a trade until the RSI is above 50. So and it's just, to the downside, it's actually looking great as well to enter a trade if you wanted to take a trade. That's really what I would be looking for, with your stop loss just above that wick there, so it's at 35.09, and then take a trade to the downside and ride it as far as you can, but looking for around about this area, 32.8, 33 cent. That could make for a nice trade on ADA. MATIC has also had a nice pullback. It's settled, so this is the 15-minute, is settled above the 200, so we might have a bounce here, but obviously same thing. I would also prefer to take a short here, but you can see they've all had big rejections here, so it's not necessarily that it's going to play out. It would just be really cool if we have a strong pullback after the massive up run that we've had. It would be best to actually then get in on a long trade on that pullback. So let's see what happens here. Also I would just give it a few more candles just to see exactly what happens if we do actually break down under this 200, then trade it to the downside. And the RSI is looking good, and also the stochastic is looking good, even though it's in the oversold area. Then XRP, I'm going to stick to the 15 minutes now. The 1 hour and daily on all the charts are basically looking exactly the same at the moment. So XRP, you can see, is broken well below the 200, so it's just got a support level here. You see that little area there, so one would have to break below that before you get into a trade here on XRP. So we've had quite a convincing candle here for as support, so one could have a look here, maybe if you have a strong candle and we start going to the upside, you could maybe do a small trade. But again, my bias would be to go short, rather looking for a short trade at the moment. Just be patient. I think it could come off sometime today, break out, break down under this little area, and then also just trade down to the 800 or as far as you can ride it. So I don't know. There's possibility on all of these coins of a small little upside rally, but overall, to me, is the feeling I get is that we're looking for shorts. Shorts at the moment, but the general trend is very bullish and to the upside. So on the hour and the dailies, all these coins are actually going to the upside. So doing a short, one would just do a quick little short in and out of the market, and actually just try to get that nice little pullback spot and where we could enter our long positions. Then this WRX is our. We're going to do a few extra trades wherever we think we see a good trade. These would be different strategies and so on as well. So we looked at this on Friday, and I said to Joseph that if you have say $100 to trade this coin, I would break it up into 2 or 3 pieces. I've done it into two little orders. I just made the little line there. That's where we spoke about it. And I put in 2 orders. I divided my money in 2 and put in 1 order. Just we were trading around about that area, so I just wanted to get into this coin, and we are very low. Let me just show you on the daily. In an area where we've always had at least like 10 to 20% moves, well, and much higher than that from this area we discussed last week. So we said we kind of in a buy zone for a good move to the upside and very little to the downside. So it was just a good area to buy and try to do this trade without a stop loss. So whatever money you've had, if you did get into this trade, so what we did is I got in the first entry here, and then put in another entry down at the bottom here, which I got just from the left. So luckily they both filled, and this yellow is now the average price, so that's our actual buy-in is now from there. So we're a little bit in profit, and we want to go at least for the 10% target. Then we'll just have a look at what things are looking like, and if it's looking good, ultimately we want to just go for this 200 EMA and for a 20% move. So this, we'll just keep an eye on this trade occasionally, so we are in that. So basically that's it for today. I'm going to, as I say, mark up each of these charts for you. I'll do a little video on each of them, and we'll upload it to the channel, and you guys can just quickly see how we mark it up, and where we would then be looking for trades on that, and that would then give you an idea, whether you are hardly down to just scalping. We would try to go through the charts, and I'll show you kind of the entries even down to the 15-minute chart, where you could start looking for nice little scalps, 0.5% here, 1% there. Or if you want to get into longer positions, some people just want to do day trades, so we're kind of catering for everyone, and we will give you an idea of what we do, which trades we take, where we take it, what we're going for, targets, and so on. Yeah, and that's it from me for today. So Joseph will be back later this afternoon just to recap, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Cheers, guys.